People are just taking 10 more minutes. That's why we're ahead of time. Okay.
What Chitra needs to do, or is it okay? Fine.
क्या हाँ सब मेरा तो सब बाद में बैठने में ही सब देखेंगे सब इसी इधर ही है कैसा चलता है
We let only the speakers.
With 25 acres of breathtaking beauty and absolute tranquility, Madhuban Resort and Spa exemplifies luxury that is soaked in tradition.
Madhuban is a home away from home. With his vast, enchanting gardens, Team Madhuban always awaits to give you service with a smile. Adding to that, the aromas of cuisines from around the world makes Madhuban a perfect wedding destination.
At Madhuban, an experienced team of wedding concierge and event planners are committed to weaving together moments that are certain to stay with you for a lifetime. Because moments as special as your wedding need a destination as special as Madhuban. Madhuban Resort and Spa, luxury soaked in tradition.
So, Nina, you would like to start?
Okay, are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
So, good evening, everyone. I welcome all members, respected past chairs, office bearers, and executive committee members of FICCI Ahmedabad chapter. I am Nina Gandhi, head of tourism committee for FLO Ahmedabad chapter 2020-21. As you all know, FLO is the women wing of the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries. FICCI works towards empowerment of women from grassroots level onwards, and its mission is to enable women's economical independence. I will now ask our Honorable Chairperson, Mrs. Taruna Patel, to introduce our honored and special guest, Ms. Shoba Mohan, for today's event on tourism and its sustainability after COVID. Over to you, Taruna.
Thank you. Thank you. So my dear past chair council, the office bearers and the executive committee and all my FLO member friends, a very good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to an enchanting afternoon of discovering the new normal in the travel and tourism industry after COVID-19. Our guest, Ms. Shoba Mohan today, has been in the travel industry for the last 20 years and sits on board of several associations like RTSOI, Responsible Tourism Society of India, and is a member of India chapters of SITE, Pata, Toft, IATO, and is the ambassador of TTC, an international association promoting experiential and transformational travel. Shoba Mohan is the founder and the entrepreneur genius behind Rare India. Intrigued by travel early on in life, she had finished exploring 15 states in India before turning 30, discovering multiple interests ranging from poetry, cinema, and storytelling to conservation efforts and marine research. Shoba found her moho when she pioneered her own boutique hotel brand under the name Rare India in 2004. Her company, Rare India, showcases some of the finest boutique hotels, palace stays, wildlife lodges, homestays, and charming retreats of the subcontinent, giving meaning to luxury, nestled in hidden corners of highly experiential destinations and concepts that offer inclusive quality quotients for travelers, spanning in India, Nepal, and Bhutan. Being a promoter of responsible and sustainable tourism, Rare India is a member of Responsible Tourism Society of India. Shoba is a prolific blogger, a vigilant writer, and touches destinations and tourism impact, new routes, and the value of finely regulated state-supported tourism. She also writes columns as an experienced traveler for the trade and lifestyle magazines such as Condé Nast, Outlook Traveler, Travel and Leisure, and is the brand ambassador for Transformational Travel Council. Today, I'm very privileged to welcome our honored guest, Shoba Mohan, to enlighten us on our national initiative of sustainable tourism set by our president, Ms. Janvi Phukan, for the year 2020-21. And Shoba, we are FLO, the women's wing of FICCI, the power to empower women. It has 17 states, pan-India, with 8,000 women entrepreneurs and professionals as the members. I welcome you heartily on the platform of FLO Ahmedabad chapter.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That
Sure.
was
And now I would like to introduce Meera Rajaram, who is going to be the moderator with us today for Shoba Mohan. So Meera, are you there? I can't see you. Yes. Yeah, okay, now I see you. So Meera is born and raised in Baroda and now settled in Mumbai. Meera Rajaram is a commerce graduate with post-graduation tourism management and is a travel professional with over 20 years of experience. Meera and her father, Mr. Gopinathan, owned and operated a corporate travel agency in Baroda and now operate under the name Narmada Holidays, I should say. Work on personalized tourism with customers in India and across the globe. They plan itineraries for any occasions and varieties of holidays, from cruising to jungle safaris, spiritual to temple destinations, to mountains and road journeys. Meera visits several destinations every year to guide authentic guidance to clients. She's also very passionate about Indian textiles and yoga. And I welcome Meera Rajaram to be our moderator for the day. Thank you, Meera.
Thank you, Taruna ma'am. Thanks a lot. It's great to be here with all of you.
Yes. And Meera, before you begin, I just wanted to start with a question, and I know your discussion will go into that. So a question to Shoba. Sorry, we have a Shoba Bandari, of another member of Shoba. You know, because I was very intrigued by the name of your company, and that's why. How do you come up with the rare idea of setting up of boutique hotels in the rarest of the most breathtaking locations? Because I've been on some of them, and sometimes in the remotest locations of India, long before, say 20 years ago, in fact, long before COVID-29 happened. So that is one question, as and when you want to answer it. And the second part of the question is, isn't that the best time for this rare family-owned boutique hotels, once travel opens up after the COVID-19, and why?
so do you want me to take the question now, or should we do that later?
No, so your startup topic can be this with Meera, because of your rare title and the name of your business. I thought I should begin that people should know that you own some of the rarest of the boutiques in the country, and some of us might not even be aware of them existing. And I thought maybe you should throw a light onto those. That's the reason I started with it.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the gracious introduction. Nobody's ever called me a entrepreneurial genius yet. So, but Thank you so much. That is that is lovely. And also thank you for having me on board this lovely afternoon with the members of FLO. I mean, it always, two people I love addressing is ladies and children. And so I think, especially where sustainability is concerned, it's a very woman thing, you know, nurturing, preserving, things like that. And I believe that it is through the voice and it is through the actions of women that you know, this whole, we are going to leave behind a much more a much more conscious and a much more beautiful earth for the future generations. And to tell you the truth, Rare, the company was started in 2003, 2004 actually, when I registered it. But the name Rare came only much later, because the more and more I met people and the more and more destination I went to, they didn't even feature on maps those days. You know, you had to look into a map. In fact, by which time Google had already come in, these were many of them were non-Googleable destinations. So they were that remote. And when looking for words and also the community itself, I mean, I would love to own a few Rare hotels, but I'm actually just their marketing and communication person. I mean, it is a community I have created as Rare India. My team and I have created as Rare India. And each of the community of hotels, they are also lateral thinkers. They are not, you know, because these are not out and out business ideas. Because if somebody wants to do a lot of business, you know, he would set it up in a city, right? And have about 30 rooms or 40 rooms. Instead, these mavericks and, you know, crazy minds and crazy hospitality, non-hospitality people would go and build it in the boondocks. I mean, in a place like Kathivada, 80 kilometers outside of Baroda, and price it at about 25,000 rupees and endeavor to drive business to these areas. So that was my inspiration. The people who run the Rare hotels are inspiration, because each one of them is so unique and is so passionate about what they do. The people are rare, the destinations are rare. So I just needed to find a narrative that is rare enough to capture the imagination of the travelers. So that is how it started.
That's nice. Nice to know that. Yeah. I think we'll be visiting a lot of those Rare hotels now.
Yes. Thank you.
Go ahead, Meera. Yeah. Meera, go ahead.
Okay, Shoba, I just wanted to understand from you, would you like to kind of do a visual presentation of your properties which you market and kind of...
Yeah, I have a small presentation about the whole smart traveler. Should I do that? And then you can do questions.
Yeah. And if it can have the names of the locations with the pictures or something, so we...
Yeah, can I, I'm just sharing my screen.
Sure.
So quickly to take you through the ethos of, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, and you can see the presentation, right? So this is the beautiful route to smart travel. In my opinion, smart travel after post-COVID will ensure you, that you have social distancing in place. You will be amidst nature. You'll have a lot of things that will ensure your health and hygiene. Most importantly, it will ensure that you are amidst nature and away from crowds and in places where over tourism and a lot of other things like garbage and all has not taken over. So this beautiful route to smart travel goes like this. And quickly, this is Rare promotes a lot of ideas how you can explore this beautiful country. So Dekho Apna Desh, about which I'll talk to you about, literally means you can see India in various ways, doing it as river journeys. This is Assam Bengal navigation, which we market, and this is a lovely little video about them, which I'm going to play. Tell me, I don't know if the music will come in. Can you listen to the music?
No, the music is not coming, but we can see the beautiful.
Excuse me, can I say something? You need to join with computer audio.
So should I go back and
Yeah,
join
yeah,
again?
yeah. You just
Okay.
stop the video, and when you share your screen, below there will be an option, share your computer audio. You just tick it and then share.
From your share screen.
Yeah, below there will be an option, share your computer audio.
One second. Phone mail today. No, it doesn't say. Share your computer sound. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it. Thank you. Thanks. There we go.
I think Shoba, maybe you can just describe some of these things because we can't hear anything.
Okay.
Is this a Brahmaputra?
Yes, this is. Yeah, this is the. Oh God, I don't know why it is.
There's an echo, Shoba.
It's a conflict between the two computers, I think. Oh, that's so cute.
I think everybody should go on mute, then probably there won't be an echo.
This is on two of India's mighty rivers, both on Brahmaputra and the Ganges. And these are some of the vignettes that you see while you do the river cruises. These boats are actually river boats that earlier used to be used for cargo, right? And what these river boats, the lovely remodeled river boats for hospitality purposes, and Assam Bengal again is hugely focused on involving the community in all their operations. It actually takes you through this thing, and then you kind of you have offshore excursions which are very, very interesting, and guests really love what they do. There are different kinds of itineraries, including one floating hotel in Majuli that they have just now created station one of their river boats there. So all these are parts of the of the experiences that you will take in. A lot of shopping experiences, if in case you want. This allows you to really look after the craftsmen there, buying from them. Bowl singers are a big part of the experiences that they give you. Food experiences on board are great. They've even added a spa for people who want to do. There are a couple of boats which you can actually customize because they are of the small number. This is one of the larger boats, and some of the things can be some of the boats can be customized and can be taken for small intimate events that you can run with them. So this is the Mayapur temple. It's in this is on the Ganges, of course. So it starts at Hubli, goes via Mayapur, Chandranagore, Mayapur, Kalna, which is a great tantric site, and these are all the things that you would see. It takes you via Murshidabad. The longest itinerary, the longest journey on the Ganges takes you right across Patna, right across Bihar into that's Shubhamoy, taking you through the thing. So it takes you through field, it takes you through vast swaths of agricultural land. It takes you through some historical sites like Nalanda. finally this program ends in Uttar Pradesh near Varanasi, which is again fantastic. And it is supposed to be one of the world's best river journeys. So. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming down to why, where, why, and how, and about India, I know Gujarat. I mean, the two very, very travel crazy markets in India have traditionally been the Bengalis and the Gujaratis, which is fantastic. And y'all are intrepid travelers. You've been around the world, and I always felt. In fact, we used to market some of the hotels in Gujarat. And I always felt they never needed anybody like us, but because for Gujarat, for the people of Gujarat and for destinations and hotels in Gujarat, Gujaratis are their intrinsic market. And any lovely resort or hotel that came by within driving distance was ably supported by the local people. So this is when we were talking about the MOT's initiative of Dekho Apna. There's several videos are being worked out. Just give me a minute. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it's
There's an echo, Shoba.
do we have another presentation now, or?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it clear? Is it clear now?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we were looking at Dekho Apna Desh and the initiative by Ministry of Tourism, I'm reminded of an initiative that Madhya Pradesh Tourism did at one point in time of Bharat Ka Dil Dekho. One of their initiatives was to encourage Indians to travel within our own country. And for Madhya Pradesh Tourism, it became that you travel within your own state. So encouraging, local people to move from one town to go and see the other town, and generally knowing about their destination and their own state very well, and thereafter then moving out and looking at their larger the larger geographic area, like the central India, the central provinces, and then going on to looking at west and the east and everything. So this is in an effort to create more and more ideas for travel within our own continent. For me, travel in India, the domestic travel market, which is where I started my career from, not many people know this, is a very is a all year market. It's a very stable market. It is also a market if people put a lot of you put attention to it, and you actually work towards it instead of using it as a stopgap opportunity. It can create wonders for the travel industry. One small example, if you give, when the Britishers were growing tea in India, I'm talking about the early 1900s. In one of the early Commonwealth markets, China had 80% of the world's tea market. While India, though they planted tea in Darjeeling, Assam, Nilgiris and everywhere, the market share for the people was not even, for Indian tea, was not even 1%. And the British governor who was in charge of this whole the whole tea project as a business model, he said, this is not working out. We should just be done with it. A genius entrepreneur, like you would say, Tarunaji, said, why are we looking at the foreign shows for it? India has so much population. At that point in time, I think they were, it was not the billions it was. Even then, he said, India is such a large market. We just create marketing for the tea in India itself. And the Britishers at that point in time work towards converting a variously and varied, beverage drinking market into a tea drinking market. And they first started with the industrial towns where, people used to keep working, and they used a word that chai will bring them tazagi, and that is the marketing spiel which we use even today. So my belief in the domestic market, if done right, it is also it's an evolving market. It gives us opportunities to feed them with new ideas. We are standing at a place where we can actually create transformations in the way Indians travel. I think is a great way going forward. This is another way. Like I said, there are various ways to. Like I said, that there are various, and I'm not going to put the video on. Like I said, there are various ways to experience India. Riding is also a great way to experience. And if there are any riders there, they will know that, the pristine landscapes of India offer themselves very, very well to do riding holidays. So riding is another opportunity in the rare experiences that we promote, that you can actually take riding vacations and not see another soul, and go through towns where you will not see another foreigner, you will not see another traveler or a tourist. It will be just you, your horse, and your experience. And it takes you to places like Bhavrani, Bhadrajun, Chanodgarh, and Castle Bijapur, places that even I haven't seen too many times in my career that is spanning about 20 years. So that's the Esrana Ranges, largely leopard country, and these are tented opportunities that you can for people to stay overnight. So those are Bijapur horse safaris. Going forward, just wanted to tell you, when you're planning your smart travel, the destination is great, is the focus, and the way you decide on the destination you go to will decide on the kind of experience you're going to set up for yourself. So what kind of destination would you like to go? If you're aware of the negatives of travel, the negative impacts of travel, like over tourism, of being in the middle of a large number of people, of being in crowds and things like that, of being inundated with experiences and with services that you probably don't have the time to do, but you want a peaceful, relaxed holiday which you can enjoy with friends and family, you'd probably look at destinations and be aware of the problems that the travel will face. And that is why this is Katiwada Raj Mahal, run by Sangeeta Katiwada and her and Digvijay, about 80 kilometers short of 80 kilometers from Baroda, but right into Madhya Pradesh. That kind of gives you the opportunities to get into the next state. The other thing about travel, about being a smart traveler, and if you believe that travel has to create positive impact wherever you go, you might want to check out what is the impact your travel is going to make. So where you go, how you go, and in this regard, actually tour operators become a very, very important cog, because it is the tour operator who probably, Meera uses a lot of our hotels, and she is there on a lot of our training sessions. She's been to a few of our properties. So a tour operator becomes very, very pertinent in a scenario where you want to figure out if you can trust this hotel, you can be, is their health and safety norms at par with international standards, their hygiene protocols are in place, and if it is exclusive enough for them to have a great experience. So that is something that you will do. And you will also, when you're looking at minimum impact, you want to see what they're doing with their water, you want to know what they're doing with their garbage, you want to see how they're involving the local community. You'll also want to see about what what is it done to the destination. A smart traveler will ensure that the destination and the community he is going to is in focus, and the outcome of any travel activity will be for the benefit of the local destination. And when I mean by the benefit of local destination, you don't want to go into a destination completely change the fabric of the destination. The other thing why you would travel as a smart traveler is, of course, you will also stay in places where the outdoors will meet luxury. So the indoors are plush and luxurious, but the outdoors is just outside waiting for you. And these are experiences that are really transformative. This is a picture from Suryagarh in Jaisalmer, where they have these independent havelis, and they're also working towards organizing, charter flights to places where you can, stay for longer period of time. They can completely customize and book out a villa for you, so that it is a completely customized experience. It's a bespoke experience for you. The other reason why you will also, and I've already spoken to you about the impact on the local communities, a lot of the rare hotels actually engage with the local communities, both directly by giving them jobs and things like that, and also indirectly by using their talents. Like that if you see in the far corner, this is an experience in Suryagarh, where they take you into the desert country and the Manganiyas are playing for you. It's a curated, very, very special private dinner that is organized for you on the sands of the Jaisalmer desert, and those Manganiyas are playing right in your in your line of vision. And at night, when the air cools down and the Manganiyas are singing, I can tell you it is a magical experience. And at the same time, the local communities are benefiting from your travel. The other, of course, the other reason for a responsible traveler is you return transformed, right? Travel changes you in ways that we probably don't know. Memories are always lurking in the background, and you probably go into areas. You go take up an interest you probably haven't. If you cycle all your way to the college, but you haven't touched a cycle. Imagine going to freeways and small state roads where you can cycle uninterrupted by traffic of the urban communities. The other reason why how you will return transformed is that you kind of come back believing in the basic tenets of travel, and which is what RARE tries to do. RARE wants you to start looking at travel from the prism of sustainable luxury, smart luxury, and responsible luxury, which means you want to know if a buffet is better than a farm to table fresh food experience. You want to know if walking in a national park or in a buffer zone area to understand and fall in love with the jungles is a much better experience than to rushing about in a jeep just to find that tiger which you may not see on that particular safari. So these are some of the questions you will ask yourself as a smart traveler. This is what the RARE ideology is all about. It's about plastic-free, water conservation, wildlife and forest conservation, low-impact tourism. One of the things I'd like you to see, and I think as travelers you'll be very, very, you will probably resonate with it, is that little heart in the center with the two thumbprints. So any travel that does not think beyond yourself and that doesn't allow you to come back wanting to do something and participate in the travel experience to promote that particular destination, that particular community, that particular environment, or that particular, and restore and uphold that particular diversity, is probably a travel worth thinking about. So if you are a smart traveler, these are some of the things that you'll be talking about. That's it from me, Meera. Happy to answer questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shoba. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot for the wonderful insights you gave us, and I think that's really helpful for all of us. I had some quick questions, and in general, I think everyone has those questions in the upcoming post-COVID era, I should say. So let's say if somebody is planning to travel maybe after 2-3 months, once things normalize, what are the key things you think one should look for, and if they can go fearlessly and just book a hotel and instead of do you think it's better to go into a smaller property, a boutique property, or a maybe large chain hotel? What should one look for according to you?
So, Meera, really, to be very honest, small properties, like I said, there are a few advantages of going to a small property. Like most of the RARE hotels are, these are I mean, one of the things that we promote very strongly, even before COVID came on board, was these large estates and small keys, generous estates. I mean, imagine 1,500 acres and just 8 suites. 40 acres and just 11 cottages, 40 acres and 8 cottages, so we are talking about land to key ratios, which are hugely generous and kind of works towards this idea of social distancing very well. Also, small operations have small teams, very, very easy to train and to sustain them, right? Very easy entry and exit points. because the owner is at the helm of affairs, it's very easy to control purchases, where it is coming from, cleaning opportunities and all that. And all our rare hotels are, they're all following protocols. We have the Singapore Clean Guide, which is one of the most comprehensive one, which is the first one that came out. WHO, WTTC, all of them have given out this thing. And our hotel, some of our hoteliers do combinations, like for example, Tiger Mountain Pokhara Lodge, that's a picture that you saw last, is doing a combination of WHO and SG Clean, right? So it gives us opportunities to explore there. So that is one thing. The other thing I wanted to tell you was, of course, they all have to, from the beginning itself, in the kind of audits that we do, and you as a tour operator would know this, we were very stringent about our health and hygiene norms. It's very important, because as a boutique hotel, we do not have a brand to support us. We are supported by the faith of the tour operator, right? Yes. I mean, imagine, is it easier to say that I'm going to go and stay in Husna's house, or you saying I'm going to stay in a Marriott hotel? If you've gone and stayed with Husna once, or if you had a guest who've gone to stay in Husna, you know the quality she brings into the property, right? So that is the kind of faith boutique hotels bring into the picture. Like even Sangeeta Katiwada's place, very close to Baroda, Katiwada Rajmahal, it has that trust factor that it has been able to establish with travelers and tour operators. Correct. That is the one. The other thing I always say, where I mean, take into consideration the protocols. Every protocol that has to be followed by a big hotel has to be followed by a large hotel. Of course, my hoteliers believe in sustainability. So not going to do this use and throw for a large extent. If they're going to use a lot of chemicals, it will all be bioenzymes that are, that do not affect or impact the earth badly. The thing is, what we actually do is that, and this is for tour operators and travelers alike, with boutique hotels, because of the smallness of the operation, as a hotel, we have our own protocols. As a tour operator, you obviously will be on the lookout for some very, very important protocols. You might be comfortable with WHO, somebody else will be comfortable with SG Clean. But then the traveler himself might have a few. I mean, Tarunaji might say, okay, I agree with you, but these are things I look for. Can you check about this and tell me which hotel? So you are actually accessing this in 3 different layers.
Correct. That's true. So do you see any new kinds of trends coming up in the post-COVID area in terms of family travel? I mean, earlier people were traveling in big groups and big family groups, but do you think fewer people are going to travel and make it for a long stay or a short stay? What are the new trends do you think are coming up? Are you hearing something from your hotelier partners?
Yeah, Meera, it's very difficult to talk about trends just now, because at this point in time, states are not in conjunction with the kind of things that they're ruling out. There is somebody is having a quarantine, somebody is having a mandatory quarantine, somebody is not having a quarantine. So till these things are streamlined, it's very difficult to talk about trends. But in general, I see people wanting to get away to quieter places, people wanting to get away where the earth and heals, and they are also healing. They want to go away to places where they probably, I mean, recently I was talking to a tour operator, and they wanted to, it's a business family, and they want to go away to a place where they can run their offices. Yes. So remote offices with good internet connectivity probably is a great idea. Wellness operations will probably be a great one. And in general, going away to a quiet, calm place after being locked down in your homes for about 3 months with all this fear, you probably want to connect with nature. You want to have pristine and large spaces around you. Big ocean, thick forest. These things you want to you wanted to sense multi-sensory experiences that you want to take in. So I think people will start looking at all kinds of things. But one thing if done right, and for all entrepreneurs out there who are into travel, is that this is your moment to start saying why the tour operator is very important. The domestic travel market, unfortunately, tries and books direct. But then they don't, with small boutique hotels, a lot of them are not out there. It's not on the, most of them are shy of OTAs. And, and OTAs don't really give you the big picture. It is so the boutique hotels, and which the tour operator, you can sit or you can chat one-on-one, even on a video call, to understand if all my concerns when I'm going with my family, or if I'm going solo, if all my concerns about hygiene and safety are looked after, I would rather go to Meera and ask,
You're right. You're very right, actually, because the OTA people, they may not even have exposure to boutique properties or
absolutely
locations. I mean, their knowledge might be limited to advise on these things. They may be just having info regarding the, the chain hotels or whatever, those kind of hotels, but not exactly what you're looking for. Another insights we wanted from you, Shoba, is many of our FICCI FLO members are based out of Ahmedabad or Baroda, because obviously they are connected with the Ahmedabad chapter of FICCI FLO. So can you advise some offbeat properties which is like close proximity, like Rajasthan and other states, where they can easily drive down, may not be now, but maybe after a month or two, when they are really
absolutely
to do that?
So let's see, from Ahmedabad, I already told you Kathiawada Raj Mahal is there. So which is, then we have a lovely property in Bhuj, which we are going to call the Bhuj House. We're going to be marketing very soon. You have, Devigarh, Udaipur. Udaipur is just 5 hours drive, much less, I think, from there. So Devigarh is there. Around Udaipur, there is Bhens Road Garh, which is on the Chambal River. That is also a great opportunity. On the other side, though we don't do Ahilya, there is Ahilya Fort. From Baroda onwards, from Kathiawada to Ahilya is a mere 4 hours drive, right? From there, you can actually enter into Madhya Pradesh and the national national parks from there. So these are some of the opportunities that you can look at. And of course, plenty. I mean, once at least flights come in, a lot of our properties are one flight destinations, which are again extremely useful for people, right? So that kind of a thing.
Taruna ma'am, you have any questions, or any of our other members would like to ask anything?
There is a question from Seema Jai Singh. If you want me to address that, do you want me to do that?
1 second.
On the chat, there is a question from Seema Jai Singh.
I think Taruna ma'am needs to be unmuted. Her mic is on mute.
No, I'm on mute.
Yes.
So go ahead. So my question is very relevant to everyone anyway, so you can go ahead and answer Seema's question, please.
So Seema, thank you for being on this, and I'm really grateful to have an opportunity to talk to all you ladies out there, because I believe it's the ladies who make the final decision on where the destination is going to be. And like I said, it's also the ladies who power something like responsible tourism. At the rare hotels, really, Seema, the thing is, we've been trying to push for value ads rather than discounts. That said, we've been saying, like for instance, if there is a cluster, if there one good example in Mary Baden Estate in Binsa, we have 2 cottages, right? So if the first cottage is, if you have a couple who's going there, we won't give the rest of the rooms to anyone else. We will put if the second booking comes, it goes into the next cottage. So we are looking at opportunities like this rather than 10%, 15% discounts. That doesn't really work. What would probably work is, a compulsory upgrade, trying to get you, trying to not book any rooms around you and give the next booking. All these things can be done, can be done now, right? Adding some activities which are very, very private, creating private dining experiences. These are some of the things that we try and do.
I had one question, if I could ask. Why sustainable always luxury? Whether it's hotels, whether it's sustainable fashion, whether it's organic food, why is it always luxury, and why is it always highly priced? Is there a reason for it?
Yeah, so we can actually do sustainable products which are not expensive at all. Like if you look at community homestays, they are very, very this thing, but it is sustainable. It is not in the luxury category. But where properties like rare hotels are concerned, there are 2-3 reasons why they kind of become expensive. First of all, there is a large discrepancy in demand and supply at this point in time, right? So what happens is number one, they're in the boondocks, right? I mean, they're really far. So operational costs become very, very high, right? And also, like I said, land to key ratios. If I want to keep my numbers low, number of keys low, and I want to give a very exclusive experience, there is a certain price point for that. Number two. Number three, a lot of them are powered by very, very well-known people, Emmy Award winners, somebody who brought HSBC to India. So imagine a wildlife lodge that is powered by a conservationist like Belinda Wright, who's a celebrity, and you're going to get, FaceTime with her for this thing. Your children are going to get to meet somebody, who's a legend in her time for tiger conservation. So those kind of things come at a premium, right? So that is the reason. And also, like at the end of the day, sustainability at this point in time, whether it is solar power, it is using geysers that are using biogas. All these technologies are coming at a huge price point now, right? I mean, like to put up a windmill to do your own electricity, all these are pricey, right? And we are standalone properties doing this. So even if I have to build a road through the thing, that particular road has to be funded by me. And obviously, all these adds to my cost. So one of them is the operational cost. Not all sustainable hotels are expensive. The homestays and all in that category really come out very well. If they are conservation projects, imagine a fort that has been conserved from a dilapidated building. The ROIs don't match. I mean, it would take, there is a lovely fort called Ramathra Fort. For him to recover the money it's taken to restore this 350 years old, he's not going to get that money back in his lifetime. It is a passion project, right? So that is why some of them, you will not all of them, most of them are in very in a good price range of about 20,000-25,000 rupees, but a lot of them, like you said, are pricey. Yeah.
So is it possible to make sustainable? It's difficult to make sustainable work on a larger scale.
No, it's not. I mean, in fact, that will be the success of sustainability when they're able to take it up in the larger hotels without greenwashing. I mean, in reality. They're able to recycle their plastic. They're able to, you say no to water. They're able to conserve water. They're able to reuse the black water. It can be done. And CGH Hotels is a great example. So people are doing that. And it is possible to do it in big hotels. And that will be the success of sustainability and responsible tourism in the end, actually.
Okay. Thank you, Shoba.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just have a quick question. You had mentioned about Bhaisroghar. How far is it from Udaipur? Do you have any images to share?
Bhaisroghar is approximately 4 hours from Udaipur. Okay. It takes about 4 hours to go. It's via Chittorgarh. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures on my computer. Okay. But you can check the website. It is bhaisroghar.com. Lovely. I mean, beautiful place. And we've had lots of people from Ahmedabad travel to us, especially in the monsoon. See, that's the other thing. Rajasthan in the monsoons is magical. And if something is placed, I mean, Udaipur, when there was a time when Udaipur's, I was there in the time when it was the first showers in Udaipur, and the lakes literally filled up in front of your eyes, and it is a magical experience.
Correct.
So, Shoba, do you see the revival of this boutique hotels, the turnaround of the boutique hotels revival much faster than the 5-star and the luxury hotels?
Yeah, I think so, because I must tell you, and this is the last 1 week has been pure joy, because people have started going to Glenburn. I mean, we have a booking for Glenburn Tea Estate. We have booking for Dwara Sirwani, all these places within driving distances from their closed metros. We have a booking for Wild Mahasir in Assam. And, and these are stories coming up. How did they deal with it? The proof of the pudding is in its eating. Having put all these protocols out, I mean, we need somebody to come and check if it's working. So it did. There have been no untoward incidences, and that really is looking really nice.
Shoba, can you tell us a bit about your Madhya Pradesh portfolio?
So most of the Central India portfolio is largely wildlife, right? Which can be very well accessed from Ahmedabad, by the way, because you can actually, you can, like I told you, From Ahmedabad, you go to Kathiawada Rajmahal, from Kathiawada, Ahilya into Bhopal. Then Bhopal gives you access to Satpura, Bhopal. From Bhopal, you can go onwards to Nagpur and Tadoba. From there onwards, So as driving itineraries and the classic Indian driving programs are going to be very trending, as you call it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, close to Nagpur, on one side in Maharashtra, we have the Tadoba Andheri National Park. We have a lovely property called Swasara Jungle Lodge. On the other side of Nagpur is very close, and into MP is Jamtara Wilderness Lodge. I showed you some pictures of their marketing, visuals. So that is Jamtara in Pench. Then we have Rene Pani and Bori Wildlife Sanctuary in Satpura. From there, you come into Kanha, which is, Kipling Camp in Kanha. Bandhavgarh, we have Samod Safari Lodge. And finally, in Panna, close to Panna and Khajuraho, we have something called the Sarai Etoria. Again, a beautiful conservation lodge run by Raghu Chundawat from, who's a person from the local royal family, and Joanna Van Griesen. So these are the two people who run it. Both of them are conservationists. Raghu Chundawat is a tiger biologist, has a couple of books to his credit. He's writing his the second book. So.
Okay, that's great. And something on a lighter note, post-COVID, which is the first destination you would like to visit from Gurgaon while you're located there?
I want to, yesterday I was talking to my friend from Ahmedabad, and I'm just dying to eat some of the food from from Gujarat. I would love to go to Kathiawada. I'd love to go to some of the. I've not been to Gujarat in a very long time. Jambu Goda is on my list. I want to go back to see the run, and there's a lot of opportunities for travel. Yes, and definitely want to come back to Gujarat. And now that I've made so many friends, I might as well come and enjoy your hospitality.
Absolutely. So Shoba, do you have your boutique hotels in most of these places that you have named?
In Gujarat, as of now, we've been talking to House of MG for a long time, and then the COVID happened. So that is there. We've been talking to Bhuj House. All this will come in under the RARE banner. I'm hoping to get them all under the RARE banner, because post-COVID also the business model is changing. We also have to rethink our businesses. And I think it will be a very good opportunity for us to bring Gujarat in. And like I said, for Gujarat, you all are such great travelers. You don't need a marketing person like me to promote any lodges.
No, but we are, of course, you're smart traveling, and tourism is going to be definitely beneficial to all of us. And the driving distance from Gujarat, the neighboring states, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, where you named all your boutique places, will definitely be a reason for all of us to travel to, and even Maharashtra to a certain extent. So definitely it is going to be very useful to start planning.
I look forward to seeing all of you, and I will keep you all posted on what's happening. We are prolific on Instagram and on this.
I have a question, Shoba.
Yeah, go ahead.
You finish, then I'll ask.
Shoba, can I ask you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So when these boutique hotels, they also design the expedition and the adventures which are in the local areas? Can you hear?
I think she's...
Sorry, your voice is backing up.
Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
Can you, so these boutique hotels, do they all design the expedition and adventures also for us? Like we want to go for a safari, so the safari, everything, it's managed by the boutique hotel owners?
I think she's gone.
Yeah, maybe she'll connect again.
Yeah. But I think, as she mentioned earlier in her presentation, all this would be planned. I think any expeditions and excursions and all that, right, Meera?
Yeah, that's right. Because they all arrange all kinds of activities and for the in-house guests. So they do safaris also. But then as far as safaris are concerned, all the national parks have different regulations. Some can be booked on the spot and some have to be booked in advance. But the properties do have information, and at the time of booking, they give all the information.
Okay, thank you.
I think Neena ji asked that question.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Shoba, are you there?
I don't know what happened.
I think got disconnected. She must be coming back.
We'll just wait for her.
Yeah.
Anybody has any more questions? Even Meera can answer some of these questions. They work together, and for everyone's information.
We'll be happy to answer that.
Sorry?
Yeah, all questions are welcome from the participants.
Yes.
We'll be happy to answer that.
Right. Until Shoba joins us. Yeah, there she is again.
I'm here, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so anybody has any questions? Any more questions?
I saw one on chat.
Yeah.
Shoba, can you hear me? This is Meera.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For the benefit of our participants, just to try out a new kind of trip in the future, may not be immediately. I know you're connected with River Cruise, also Assam Bengal of the Fukan family. They are more, I think, targeted towards foreign nationals for longer period, like 7 nights or 10 nights. Do you have any info whether there are any shorter products of 3 nights or 4 nights?
Yeah, everyone, and in the post-COVID era, we are encouraging our hoteliers to come up with shorter programs, and
yes,
in fact, they already have a 4-night program around Hooghly and around Brahmaputra. They already have around Guwahati. They already have shorter programs. So
yeah, because our local nationals may not be able to devote like 7
No,
nights.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And also some of them can be curated. I mean, if it's a buyout, we can be curated for, especially for
for special occasions or celebrations and all that.
Yes.
And when is the cruising season for the river? Because of the monsoons, I'm sure there must be some restrictions.
No, in fact, monsoon is the great time for the Ganges cruising.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right. I mean, to go right up to Varanasi and that, and this can be taken into in 7 nights. So from Hooghly till Farakka is 7 nights. From Farakka to crossing over to Patna is another 7 nights. From Patna to Varanasi is another 7 nights. So these can be broken up and can be taken as upstream cruises and also as downstream cruises.
Oh, okay.
So they're all there's a huge level of curation, and also because we run trips both upstream and downstream, people can join and get off where they want in that 7 days in the 7-day windows.
So how many states do you cross in those 7 days? Say one of the 7 days, because the Dekho Apna Desh. The pledge that the Prime Minister wants us to make is to visit 15 places outside your state. So if I'm from Gujarat, I have to visit 15 places outside of my state in 3 years. So 2022 is the time when you have to complete traveling. And during this COVID times, I think it is better that we travel in India. And this pledge was asked by the tourism industry in August 2019.
Yes.
So I think we are thinking about something even before COVID happened. And it just so happens that this is going to be the most useful way of traveling. Either it is the cruising or the car driving. And some places you mentioned you can go riding also. Maybe.
Riding, yeah. So
trekking.
Trekking. In fact, in Kumaon, you can actually trek from one village to the other and experience the entire destination on foot.
Okay.
And actually go and stay in the village homes and things like that.
So what about this cruises? How the river cruises? If we take a 7-day cruise, how many?
So the 7-day is just broken up as, you have West Bengal, you have Bihar, and you have Uttar Pradesh, like that. It's 7 nights like that. So if you do the entire 21 itinerary, you can probably cover the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. But that said,
10 or 15 cabins, right? These smaller.
Different. No, they have different boats, and different river boats have different. They're 12, they're 18, so they're different. They're different configurations. I can send you all the information. Yeah, send me a mail. Although their website, if you see, it's very, very well done, and every information is there on the Assam Bengal navigation site. So if you take a look at it,
I'm very safe.
Taruna ma'am, is Mrs. Fukan there in the webinar today?
I don't think so. I didn't see
No,
her.
I didn't see her. Yeah, I
I
didn't
had
see
told
her.
her a few days ago that you're going to be there. Just for my members' information, our president, Janvi Fukan, is very well connected with Shoba as well as Meera. When I came to know that, I was also very happy. And
yeah, I know. And they are huge on sustainability. They just did a wedding of their younger daughter, and it was a completely green wedding.
Wow.
It made headlines. Yeah.
Of, Assam tourism in many ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
When nothing was there.
Actually, yeah, Northeast actually, they are huge pioneers. Yeah. And also Northeast has the ability to really focus on all this sustainability and everything in a very, very special way.
Yes, yes, yes. I traveled there last year, Shoba. I remember I stayed at Wild Masir Tea Estate, which you were promoting.
Which we promote, yeah.
Yeah, and Mr. Fukan had invited me to visit their lodge in Kaziranga, Deep Blue Lodge.
In Kaziranga, the Deep Blue Lodge, yes.
And we went to Saradev boat also, which is stationed at Jorhat.
Yes, yes.
And then we went to Majuli Island. It was, I mean, Assam
so in the Majuli Island is where they have the floating hotel now.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So exciting. I mean, if you look at my website is www.rareindia.com.
Yeah, everybody has the website link so that they can see the properties.
So it's rareindia.com, and the one next to Baroda is Kathiwada Raj Mahal. Kathiwada Kathiwada Raj Mahal. That's what the property is called. And otherwise, just write to me. I'm happy to send you the all the information about the properties. There was one more question from some Seema, which I missed because it's not showing up on my chat just now.
Okay, I'm also looking at the queries list.
It's on chat.
Is she there? Then probably she can unmute and speak to us.
Seema, you had a question if you want me to answer. So on the river boats are of different configuration. So the smaller I'll send this information out to you. If you'll find it on the website. The Bindu is asking how many people can go on a boat, but it's in the range of 18 to 20, 18 to 22, 21, 22 rooms on each one. So they don't cater to large numbers anyways.
Yes.
Yeah. No, my question was I just wanted the email address of Shoba.
Acha, shoba@rareindia.com. SHOBA with only one H.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shoba, since you're there, we'd like to take advantage of your knowledge of South India also and your properties. So can you quickly run through that as well?
So in the South, in fact, we are increasing our footprint in the South. Kerala has always been a big this thing. The Ramya Retreats has got properties in it's got properties in Kumarakam. It's got property in Tekadi. Their club, Cardamom Club, is fantastic. Then they have Surya Samudra, which is in Kolam. So these are fantastic opportunities for travel. Then in Tamil Nadu, we have Swatma in Tanjavur, which is again fantastic. We've got Valparai. We've got Karnataka, the Kadumane, which is coming up which is in Valparai, which is a part of the Sinadare bungalows. So Sinadare bungalows are they have three estates, three tea estates: Mango Orange, Kadumane, and in the Nilgiris. The Nilgiris and Kadumane, which is in Karnataka, and of course Valparai, which is in Tamil Nadu. So these are properties. In Kerala, we have Windermere River House and Windermere Estate in Munnar, which you know, right? And then we have Pepper Trail in Wayanad.
Yes.
Right. And then the Malabar Escapes property, which is Malabar House in Cochin. We have Purity on the Vembanad Lake. They also have a lovely, very, very private Discover houseboat. So all these are,
I think we also follow the eco-friendly concept for that.
They're all of them. Yeah. So, I mean, they're very, very strong with their sustainable policies.
Yeah. So some of the names which you told us right now, I think the nearest airports are like Coimbatore, Cochin.
Cochin. Calicut and Kannur for Wayanad, the North Kerala area.
Yes, correct. And the one in Karnataka, you mentioned one Karnataka resort.
Is a Kadamane, which is from Bangalore. You go from
Bangalore.
near Sakleshpur, so it's from Bangalore. Okay. And from in Karnataka, we also have Shreyas Yoga Retreat, which is one of India's just outside of Bangalore in the farmhouse areas. Yeah.
Yes, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
So Shoba, somebody has asked, I think it's Geeta Gandhi, one of our members has asked whether most of these boutique hotels, are they open for booking now? Or
slowly they are opening up, and it also depends upon their local government. Just like I told you, Rajasthan, they said was open, but some of our properties are, their local government. See, it's also when they're running a community arrangement, they also have to be very careful that the travelers who come there are also safe and COVID-free, right? So we're working on a traveler's pledge and things like that, which is why we like bookings from tour operators, because you will ensure that, that they are also, because, imagine being a standalone hotel in a community, or having a river cruise, and somebody comes in, is asymptomatic, but brings in the fever or something like that. I mean, what do you do with everything? I mean, you are kind of closed in. So it becomes very important. So slowly they're all opening up. I would say at least by 15th of July, at least about 50% of our hoteliers will show some semblance of bookings. So that much I can tell you.
So this is for the boutique hotels we are talking about, right?
Yeah. We currently operate in about 18 states.
Okay, and the size of these boutique hotels range from what 2 to 4 rooms to?
Our magic numbers are even today 12. One or two might be. Yeah, 12 rooms or cottages or villas. Okay. So 12 is our magic number, because 12 and 14 are magic numbers. Some of their restoration projects go up to about 40 because the ROIs don't match. Like Ras Devigarh, Ras Jodhpur and all are about 40 rooms. We have 2 hotels which are very big. I mean, and they are on board because of their exemplary work in terms of in the way that they define the destination, which is Suryagarh in Jaisalmer and Narendra Bhavan in Bikaner. So these are two fantastic. But in general, about 40 to 50 rooms are the outermost limit, and about 8 to 12 rooms are the lower.
But thank you so much.
Yes, Kathipara Rajmahal is in MP, about 80 kilometers from Baroda. It is not. That's what I kept saying, that it is across the border in Madhya Pradesh. My parents stay in Kannur. So in Wayanad, we have the Sarita is asking me this question: which one is in Wayanad? It's called Pepper Trail. And Kannur, we don't have anything yet. No. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pepper Trail is a huge plantation resort again. I think coffee and
pepper
very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think if we don't have any more questions, we can end the session. And we have taken much more, a few minutes longer than what we should have. But there's so much to know, and I think we are all just waiting to leave home and go on a long drive, any kind of vacations that you talk about.
All of us are waiting, and we love this subject. We can talk another 1 hour, no problem.
I know, yes, And
as a chapter of Ahmedabad, Ahmedabad chapter, we are also looking for a retreat. We usually have a retreat for the members, chapter members, to take them out for 2-3 days. But this year, we don't know how fast we can leave our place and go somewhere out of state, but definitely we'll look into some of the properties that you have suggested if we don't have a big group.
Absolutely.
And Dekho Apna Desh, I mean, one of these days, I will talk to the members to take a pledge and taking it forward, complete, the 15 destination by 2022. And I think if we do it by car or, boat also, I think we can manage that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the classic Indian road trip, they call it, that is going to be trending. And I think that would be a great way to explore the country.
Yes,
I know people who love to drive from Ahmedabad to Delhi. I mean, crossing, Rajasthan on the way. So those are some of the ideas. And the other thing I wanted to tell you was that this nostalgia, you know, wahan ka, and food is going to become a big part of why you would travel. Wahan ki biryani, wahan ka samosa, Jaipur ki kachori, mirchi vada in Jodhpur. So trying to, you know, excite yourself with food opportunities, and, you know, to go to these places to explore textile, craft, food is going to be another great way to, you know, to inspire yourself to travel. And Ahmedabad, for instance, is a great one for textile travelers who are interested in textiles.
So I think it's going to be a great year for tourism in India.
Thank you. That's
I think so. All of us travel abroad. So now this year, I think we're going to look to travel within India and give that the tourism industry the boost they require, because this is the worst period. I'm in the hospitality business, so I know it. And, you know, everything is shut down and the costs just keep running. So this is going to be, I think, a great year for tourism for everyone within India. Every Indian will take advantage of it and dekho apna desh, and not only dekho, pehchano apna desh, jano apna desh, you know,
fall in love with incredible
fall
India.
in love with India, yes, all over again. So it's a fantastic opportunity for everyone. And I thank you, Shoba, for really enlightening us with so many new places and new things to do, and
thank you so much.
Ideas. So we look forward to taking advantage of all
Thank
this.
you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. It has indeed been a pleasure.
Yes, and so before we end a session, every time we do a fishbowl gift for you, and I think we are ready to do that now. So a sponsored gift by Madhuban. So anyway, that's the fishbowl, and I'm going to pick. You can't see it. And then we have a gift for you for Shoba also, and Mira. So we can. Okay, I'm going to pick one. Hope it's not one of my own. Dulari. Okay. So.
Lovely.
Yeah.
What more do we need? You get to talk about travel, and you get to travel also now.
Yes. So this is Dulari. She is from, I think, a new member from our chapter. And now, Chitra, can you please show, you know, Shoba wanted to visit Gujarat. Here's a good reason, Shoba.
Lovely.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'll be there. Thank you so much.
And we have one for
really
Meera also. One for Meera.
So much. Thank you so much.
Meera, finally we can do this FOMO trip.
Yeah, Madhuban is like second home, you know, Shoba.
Yeah, really. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I'll ask Rachna to do the vote of thanks, please. Rachna? Rachna, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, just can't see you. I'll locate you. Go ahead.
The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page. 10th, St. Augustine. And there is no place on earth that has rich cultural heritage and varied landscapes than our own country, India. It was indeed a delight to hear Ms. Shoba Mohan and hear her views on sustainable and responsible travel. On behalf of FLO Ahmedabad chapter, I would like to thank Ms. Shoba Mohan and Ms. Meera for conducting such a wonderful session for us. I would also like to thank our sponsors, Madhuban Resort and Spa, Phoenix Creation Simplified, Satyanarayan Jadia and Sons, Sanket India Anand, our IT partners, EITL, our design and print partners, iCash Printing and Stationery. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all our members who were a part of this webinar. Thank you so much, and stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you, Shoba. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, Shoba. See you. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
Thanks, Veera. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure.